Welcome if you've just joined. Today's call is all about my content marketing plan for 2016 and also more so my content philosophy for this year going forward. It's going to be a bit of an experiment, but I want to take you guys along with me and take you on the journey. We all learn together and hopefully learn some awesome lessons that we can apply in our video marketing, but also not just video marketing, but building businesses online as well. So, hi Joost, or Joost. I'd say it's Joost, probably from Holland or something like that, looking at your surname. Right, so he's just talking about the what do you call it, lost episodes. Anyway, okay, let's get into it. So I've been thinking about this for a long time. So about 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years ago, I think YouTube live events came out. I can't remember exactly when it came out, but YouTube live events came out. And when I saw it, I jumped on it and I was so excited and really keen to get into it. But then I had a massive problem. In Australia, and perhaps in your part of the world as well, back then, and even still to this day, our internet is a real big problem. So I couldn't really get it going. I couldn't do the live streaming thing. So it was a real big bummer for me and very, very disappointed. And really, it wasn't until 3 years later, which was last year, that I finally was able to get good enough internet and really start playing with it. And about a year and a half ago, I think it was now, I created a video on my YouTube channel that said something along the lines of why live video will crush everything else online in the future. Something along those lines. And it was about an hour-long presentation, and I gave my prediction for what's going to happen. And just about a year later from that, or maybe 6 months later, we saw a service called Meerkat coming out, or at least becoming very popular then. And then just 6 months later, we had or right about there, I can't remember all the dates, we had Periscope popping up. We had Google Hangouts happening. Then we had Blab happening as well. And this whole live video thing it looked like it just went crazy. So my prediction for that was like a year and a half before that. And so it was fantastic to see that something that I could foresee actually did happen. And I think we are just at the beginning of this still. But anyway, since then I've been addicted. I've been obsessed with live video streaming in particular. And so I've gone through the whole gamut of doing it properly through YouTube live events. I set up my own studio with massively awesome equipment and very expensive too, and super complicated. Went through the whole gamut of everything and spent so much money, so much time on it. And the point I'm trying to make is that I've been so obsessed with it, but why? Why? The big reason for me is, number one, the engagement that I can get with you watching this right now. So let's see, Flexboy is in here. Flexboy, so thanks for being here, getting involved there. If you're watching this, leave a comment. I'll give you a shout out. Joost is probably from Holland. Are you from Holland? Joost, let's see. Joost, yep, great. So that's how you pronounce his name. Damien, no, hey Damien. So, for all you guys that I'm speaking to right now, how cool is this? I can call out your name. I can speak specifically to you, and you can speak back to me. There's not much more engaging online from a broadcast perspective than what I'm doing right now. So, who else do I have here? I've got Rooney Calmera. Will this live stream be automatically recorded? Of course. And that's one of the other benefits. Great question, Rooney or Ronnie. These live events that I'm running are immediately available once I finish them. And that is a really, really cool thing. A very, very cool thing. So, for example, say I plan out a live event in advance. So this one, for example, today, I just did an hour before I set it up. But say I plan one out 2 weeks in advance. And I start sending emails to my broadcast list saying, hey, on this date, at this time, there's going to be an event. When I send that email out, when it goes live, and I might get a certain number of people on that call live, a few hundred people or whatever. But as my email goes out, there's going to be a ton of people who join later, even after I've run the thing live. And the cool thing about it is that when they get there, the experience will be for them quite similar. They'll be able to watch the replay immediately. And it's just another benefit of doing these live events. It's so well set up. in terms of content generation, it is really cool. So I'm going to get into the details of my content philosophy or content plan in just a second. I just want to build this up a little bit for you in terms of the live event stuff. Who else do we have here? We've got, so Damien is saying he's in Brizzy. Well, Brisbane, this is just around the corner from where I live here on the Sunshine Coast. So Damien, great to have you on the call. So I lived in Brisbane for 5 years, of course. Joost is saying, yes, I'm Dutch, but grew up in Germany, England, and the US, and don't speak Dutch. London right now. Well, how interesting is that? So Joost, I was born in South Africa. I can understand a bit of Dutch, a little bit of German, but mostly speak English. We've got the Firefly guy saying, John from Scotland, hey, welcome. Joost is saying, let me play devil's advocate. Don't you run the risk of getting sidetracked by conversations like this one, where we go off on tangents like Netflix shows? Yes, of course, but if you're strong, you can always bring it back. But I think that's part of what makes it so engaging. I think it's one thing to go into the comments while you're doing the thing, or leaving it till later. So, and you'll probably find that I will do that in a second, where I'll focus just on the content and do the comments a little bit later. I just want to say hi to a few more people. Like, so Rooney is saying, okay, Rooney is how the name is pronounced. Great. Rooney, can you monetize this? Absolutely. So that's a great question to ask that I'll answer once I've done a bit more content here. All right, so let's get into this a bit more. So my content philosophy. So with this build-up of live events, I think there is a tremendous opportunity here for us, as content creators, to create content extremely fast, that is super engaging, and that goes on your YouTube channel straight away, that becomes searchable or indexable, searchable, and people can view it straight after you're done. And very importantly, there is absolutely no post-production required. Maybe you can, like sometimes you can, like what I'll do for today's video, for example, is I'll cut out the front bit where we were just chatting before I started the content. You can do that in your YouTube editor. You can do, there's a trimming function, but in general, you don't have to do anything, compared to a video that you have to pre-prepare, script, record, and all this sort of stuff, and then record and do the editing. It's a real pain. Whereas with live streaming, it's awesome. So I just want to talk about this engagement thing, because that's something else that I've been studying tremendously, like over my whole career, 10 years. Engagement. How do you engage people online? And that took me on a journey, made me discover video and as a very engaging medium. And then, we didn't have live streaming back then. And then I started thinking about how can I engage people more with my content? And I started thinking about all the fancy things you can do with your content creation, in terms of how you structure the content, how you edit the content, how you bring in special animations and special things just to engage people. And it's this massive thing you've got to go through just to engage people. And then doing this live stuff, boom, the engagement is just there immediately. Okay, so if you've just joined, I noticed a few more people have joined. I'm talking about my content philosophy and how live video streaming is going to be a huge part of that this year, and why you should consider as well. And if you like what I'm sharing so far and like this sort of stuff, just share it with one other person using the share buttons below this video or at the top if you're on mobile. I'd love to get the word out a bit more about this. All right, so let's talk about a little bit more detail here. So as you can guess, no big surprise here, I'm going to be doing a lot more live events this year. So I'm thinking there's going to be two types of live events. There's going to be the impromptu ones. One's kind of like this that you're watching right now. This is very much an impromptu kind of a video that I'm creating, that I think about the topic an hour before maybe. Where it's just really getting in touch with you guys, chatting, and talking about whatever is happening in my business at the moment, or what I'm planning, or any useful nugget that I think you might appreciate. The second kind is going to be more organized, where I plan for it a lot more. I have a special presentation, much more structured, much more organized, and I promote them out as well a lot more. So this one that you're watching for now, for example, there's only like 13 to 15 people watching it at the moment. For these bigger ones, there'll be a few hundred people watching them. So it'll be very different to this one that you're watching now. And so what I'm thinking about is maybe once a day. I'm not sure about that yet, because that's like a massive commitment, but I'm thinking once a day, like at the same time every day, run an impromptu live event like this. And then maybe once every week or once every 2 weeks, run a more well-prepared one where there's slides, where there's more in-depth content, where I use my professional studio to run it, and different screenshots and all this sort of things, different cameras. But only do those like once a week or once every 2 weeks, maybe even just once a month. But then use these smaller ones, these impromptu ones, to just build things up and tell people about what's coming up and this sort of thing, and share useful nuggets of information. So I guess this year is going to be a bit of an experiment to see how that goes. And this is my first real video of that experiment. I did it a little bit an hour later from what I would normally want to do it. So normally I'm going to have it at 10 o'clock Brisbane time, which is like 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in USA. So what do you think? That's going to be that's kind of been my philosophy. So what I've done already in my previous video is I published something where I asked you guys, or my subscribers, what it is you want to learn about, and I got a ton of really, really amazing comments from people and ideas. So I'll be going through those as well. And maybe this is something that you can do as well if you're thinking about creating your content strategy for the year. Ask your audience, create one short little video, ask them what it is that they want to learn about for the year. And then that gives you tremendous input into the kind of content that you can create. So I'm going to be using that, and maybe I'll cover some of those questions in these impromptu kind of live questions, and then maybe leave some of them for the bigger topics. The other thing I want to do is also interview a lot of people this year and live, make the whole experience live once again, and covering topics that you guys have told me about that you're interested in. So yeah, what do you think? What do you think of this content strategy where it's mainly going to be focusing on live? I might have some pre-recorded stuff that's nicely edited, but seriously, it's such a pain and such a hassle to pre-record stuff and edit them, and I'm not even sure if the benefit of them is there in terms of engagement. So let me know in the comments area. I'm going to hop to the comments area now. Maybe you've got any specific questions about creating content for your YouTube channel or for your business. I'm happy to answer them right now. I'll probably spend about 10 to 15 minutes on that, and then we'll call it quits because I just want to keep these nice and short. All right, so let's see what else is there. So actually, before I do that, welcome if you've just joined. I was just talking about my content plan for the year. You can rewind and watch it if you want to right away. But also share this. Give us a like, a thumbs up if you like this sort of content. If you like me, give me a thumbs up and spread the word about what I'm trying to achieve here. All right, so let's see what's the comments here. So I've got my iPad here just below the camera, so I'll read through some of these things. So Rooney is saying, can do this from a normal iPhone with 4G, you think? Well, Rooney, I am running this from my iPhone 4. It's like 3 years old. I'm actually using this device, mobile internet device, which is a 4G device, gives me 4G internet. So that's all I'm doing right now. I'm streaming this from my iPhone. I've got a little lapel microphone and this. That's it. That's all I'm using. So one thing you got to check if you're using the 4G on your phone is that sometimes it can flick between 4G and 3G. And when that happens, you can lose your connection, which is not so cool. And of course, 3G is not that fast. But 4G, if you can lock it into 4G, or if that's the only service that's available, that can work really well. All right, who else do we have in the room? Okay, so we've got Rooney asking those great questions. So Damien saying, let's engage. All right, excellent. Who else do we have here? So Rooney asking a lot of questions. Can you monetize this? Okay, so let's answer that question because that's a great question. So in terms of content, so there's a bunch of different ways you can monetize this. When you create a lot of content on YouTube and build an audience, build a big following, lots of views, the first and easiest way to monetize that, of course, which is not one that I really do myself because I've got another reason for it, but is just to turn on monetization on your videos, and then advertisers can advertise on your channel, and then you basically get, I think, 55% of the advertising revenue from that YouTube's making from that. So that's the YouTube Partner Program. That's one way. The other way is, of course, to build your own audience, like your email database, and then to sell your own products and services. That has worked extremely well for me. In general, I can get this is way back when I tested this. We managed to get at least 10 times as much money from that we got from AdSense, the partner program. We got at least 10 times from the products and services we sold through our YouTube channel and through our email list. So, and I believe you can get a lot more than that. That was just for a magic channel. It was a really low price point. So for more lucrative sort of channels, I think you can do much better than that. The other thing that I've been doing, in fact, last year, I used YouTube live events to sell products and services, and I sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of product using YouTube live events. And these were held privately, I guess, or as unlisted events, and I used another commenting feature called Chat Roll so that I could control the environment. So I didn't make them, I didn't have them all over YouTube. It was just like on a web page where I embedded the YouTube video. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so absolutely you can monetize this. Rooney, how is... Okay, great. She's from the Caribbean, excellent. See Curacao, is that how you pronounce it? Rooney is saying, I'm doing this for sure this year, man. Okay, great. Yeah, absolutely. Let us know your results as well, and join in on the next call and let us know. Keep up the experiment, excellent. How can you share your screen with YouTube? Okay, so with this particular app that I'm using, Rooney, you can't share your screen. You can share other images that you have on your phone. There's another app that I talked about in one of my previous videos where you can share your screen, but I also use the professional Wirecast desktop software where you can share your screen, you can bring in cameras, all sort of stuff, and create a very engaging presentation where it's not just a talking head like I've got right now. Okay, let's see what else do we have here. Jarhead6 is saying, is the more video the best? Not quite sure what you mean there. Are you asking whether if you have more videos on your channel, that it's a better thing? Maybe just confirm that, Jarhead, and I'll try and answer that for you. This is the time now for you to ask your questions, by the way, in the comments area. I only have like 10 more minutes of this, so this is your chance to ask me a question about my content plan or video marketing or online business. Happy to open it up to any kind of question you might have that you think I can help you with, and then I'll close it down. So I want to keep it nice and short. Jim is saying, where are you? In a public office. Jim, I'm actually in a co-working space where my office is based now here on the Sunshine Coast, or the part where I'm working at least. Our main office is in Singapore, but this one's just in a co-working space. You might see some other folks walking around. So I'm just in a meeting room right here, right now. Okay, so Damien is saying, good plan, Gideon. I especially like your efforts to promote engagement. It is so undervalued by most people. Yeah, absolutely. Engagement is key. I mean, you think about it, if you don't have an engaged audience, then they're not going to watch your videos, right? If they don't get engaged, they're not going to stay there, and they're not going to. You're not going to be able to do anything with your audience, right? They're just going to leave. So when you engage them, they are there, where they're watching. But also when they're engaged, you can do all sorts of things. You can invite people to leave comments, like you guys are now. You can invite people to join an email list. You can invite people to check out a new product or service. I mean, it's the more engagement you have and the better rapport you have with the audience, the more awesome things you can do. Okay. What else do we have here? Jarhead saying some people only post one video a week, but daily videos bring a lot of views. Yeah, I think this is going to be part of the experiment, Jarhead. I'm going to see how this goes. If I publish this live once a day, if I can keep it up, I'm not even sure if I'll be able to keep it up because it's quite a big commitment, and some days I'm going to be traveling, etc. And I probably won't be doing weekends. But I'm going to see what sort of effect that has on my YouTube channel, and whether it affects growth, subscribers. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, I think there should be a little subscribe button on my video there, or subscribe icon, whatever, or somewhere on this video or on this page that you're watching. Subscribe if you haven't yet, because I'll be having these updates and you'll get a notification when I have these live events if you're interested in joining. Okay, what else do we have? Jeff is saying monetize your content with membership site. Yes, so I'm not sure if that's a question or a comment there, but yeah, absolutely. Monetizing with the membership site is very powerful, especially if you can set up a membership site where people come in and they pay month after month after month after month. And that's part of the trick, is if you have a membership site, how do you retain people? How do you get people to stay in there and not leave? And I think engagement is once again one of those things where if you can build an engaged community, people are going to be much more likely to stay as well. So yeah, great comment there. So Gord Isman is saying, do you need an established list in order to do live stuff? No, no, you don't, Gord. At the moment, I'm not promoting this video out to anyone. I mean, other than on my YouTube channel and on YouTube. So I didn't send this out to an email list. I think I selected the Google Plus and Twitter checkboxes when this goes live. So it might have gone out there, but I haven't really seen much results from that. But you don't need a list. Absolutely, you don't, to get started with this. Maybe you'll only have one person watching at the beginning, but who knows? I think I really hope that YouTube will latch onto this a bit more and give people a bit more exposure. What's cool about this is that if you already have a YouTube channel and you go live, or run live events, you can set it in your settings so that it shows as an advertisement on all of your videos of your whole channel while you're live. And you can also promote it on your channel like up to a week before the event goes live. I think it's limited to up to a week, which is pretty cool. So, this particular one that you're watching today was only set it up like an hour beforehand, so people could see an hour beforehand that I was going to run a live event. But now, at the moment, if you go to any of my videos on my channel, you should see down the bottom left, there's a little ad that when people click on it, it goes to my live event here. And there's a little tip in there for you as well. If you're going to be running these live events, definitely use a thumbnail, create a thumbnail before you go live that tells people what the video is about. Maybe have big on there, live red, so that when people, they know that it's live. Okay, so, and there's lots of little tips that's going to come through from me this year as I do this more and share with you guys what I'm learning through this experience. Jim Ferreira is saying, oh, this is not that video app you spoke of the other week. Oh yeah, so this is another app, Jim. This one is called Wirecast Go, and it's a pretty simple app. I'm just going to use it for my impromptu live events, the quick ones that I'm doing, the unplanned ones, so to speak. There's the, what's it called, Switcher Studio Pro, I think it's called, or Switcher Pro. That one you can run on your iPad or your iPhone, and you can switch between different cameras and the internet off, not the internet, the aircon off, it's really cold. You can run different screens, you can share your screen on your computer, you can have different cameras like your iPhone, another iPad, or you can have up to 4 different cameras coming into that. Next level up from that is Wirecast desktop software, which is much more expensive, much more advanced, but also much more professional. Okay, Gord Isman is saying you are using YouTube, why not Periscope, Blab, or other options? Great question, Gord. So I love those other services as well. They're super easy to use and super engaging as well. My biggest gripe with them is that they're not on YouTube, right? So when you create your videos there, like Periscope, for example, it's on the Periscope world and the Twitter world, right? So, and it only lasts there for a day and it's gone. And then if you want to have it on your YouTube channel, you've got to download it first, then upload to YouTube channel, and then it's on YouTube, and then you don't get that same live experience on YouTube as you did on Periscope. So it's just kind of dead, not dead content, but passive content that you upload to YouTube channel. Blab, similar thing. I'm not sure how long you keep your blabs for, but same sort of thing there. It's in the Blab world, the Blab environment, and while that's cool, it's a cool service. Once again, it's not on YouTube, and so you can't just have your content up there and searchable and indexable like you can on YouTube. So the other thing also is that with live events, what's really cool about them is, especially when you get a lot of people watching at the same time, is your watch time just goes through the roof. And this is a really, really important indicator that YouTube now looks at for deciding how authoritative your channel and your videos are, and then hence how well you rank in the search engines, on the YouTube search engine. So if you're running your live event on Periscope or Blab and then download those videos and re-upload to YouTube, you don't get all those other benefits that I've said, like all the benefits of having a live audience on YouTube, the viral sort of tools that's on YouTube, but then also the watch time on YouTube. You don't get the watch time on YouTube, which is just so important, and I think a lot of people don't realize this. So while these other services are awesome, my gut feeling is that they are probably not going to last all that long. I mean, I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows the future, right? But if I think about YouTube in terms of positioning, and if they play their cards right, if they bring out their own live streaming app, similar to one that I'm using from Wirecast Go here, oh my goodness! I think it's just gonna make a very, very interesting world. So I'm really hoping they bring something out. But already I'm just using Wirecast Go here, and it is so easy. I'm streaming live to my YouTube channel right now. My watch time for this video, there's been about 10 to 15 people watching at any one point in the video. And you guys are watching we've been doing this now for 33 minutes. You know, so imagine what that does to my YouTube channel. Imagine if I have 300 people watching this live stream right now. So of course, this particular live stream that I'm running now, I didn't promote this out to my wider audience. But imagine if I had between, you know, say 300 people watching this, what that does for my watch time on my channel. It is insane. It is insane. It's just like, boom, goes through the roof. And so the two things that YouTube looks at is watch time and session time. Those are two major factors they look at for looking at the authority of your channel and hence how well you rank. But they also look at engagement. So they look at commenting, they look at likes and shares and all this sort of stuff. But the watch time and session times are the most important ones. That's my understanding anyway. So that's a really long answer for that question. But that's why I don't use Periscope and Blab and Meerkat and all these other ones. So, but you know, who knows? I think this year, after this year, we'll know. We'll know who's going to be the big 800-pound gorilla when it comes to live streaming. And my prediction, or what I'm thinking, my gut feeling is going to be between Facebook and YouTube. Maybe Periscope. I don't know. You know, anything can happen. Like, remember, think back to the days of MySpace. Like, it became really huge, and everybody thought that was going to be it. And then Facebook came along and totally killed it, right? So who knows? The thing, though, is that Facebook and YouTube is pretty damn well established. You know, whereas Periscope and Blab and all the other services, they're still kind of, you know, new. And there's Twitch there, but that's kind of focused on the gaming industry, right? So I don't know. Live streaming for the masses. Who's gonna own that? YouTube, Facebook. Those are my two favorites. Personally, I really hope it's YouTube that's gonna crush it. But you know, Facebook might be interesting there as well. So it's going to be a very, very interesting year. Okay. Okay, let's see. Yeah, Jim is saying YouTube is the king in capital letters. Absolutely. When it comes to video, so far they've been the king. Facebook is making big strides towards being the king there. So who knows what's going to happen. Rooney is saying, I'm launching my business school this month and want to use this for questions and answers. What do you think? Oh, absolutely, Rooney. This is so easy. If you've got an iPhone and a good internet connection, you know, often I run this through just my Wi-Fi at home, which has got my home office. It's got a really, really good connection, and the experience is awesome. I mean, this time I'm running it through this little device here. It's 4G, and it's got a pretty good internet connection. So it's awesome. It'll be awesome for a live Q&A sort of session for your members. Absolutely. There's more cool stuff you can do when you go to the more professional stuff like Wirecast Desktop, but that's a whole different ball game, and I might create some more training on that. If you're interested on that, let me know in the comments area as well. All right, what else do we have here? Gord Isman is saying, do you put end cards to drive traffic for these live events to drive traffic elsewhere? Okay, good question. Well, Gord, I've been kind of out of it for 3 years on this channel. So end cards is definitely going to be part of the strategy. With end cards, I guess there might be a way where you can use end cards to promote a future live event. I haven't looked into that, but that would be pretty cool. There might be a service like vidIQ that can offer that, where you can just go create a new card for all your videos that promotes a future live event. So there's probably a ton of different things you can do to promote your live event. That's going to be part of what I'm going to be researching this year and building up and sharing with you guys as I go along. So great question there. But yeah, anything you can do to get more people watching, the better, of course. Okay. Gord Isman is also saying, so there's a channel ranking and individual ranking and doing more live yields greater returns. Well, that's my theory. I mean, certainly it's a theory that's already kind of proven in a big way that I've done over the last year and a half or so of running live events. In general, what I found with live events, they rank like hotcakes. In fact, if you do, how do I get back? If you do a search for, actually let's do a quick search for my content plan for the year. I'm just going to do a YouTube search. So I'm doing a YouTube search now. Sorry, I can't share it with you guys on my screen. So I'm going to do my content plan for the year. Actually, I might bring my camera around this way so you can see. So if I do a search for that, and I'm going to change my camera here. All right, so hopefully this works. So there we go. Check this out. So this is my iPad here. I just did a search here for my content plan for the year, which is the title of my video. And looky there, look at what is #1 on YouTube right now. So it's already ranking, and the video is still live. As you can see there, it's still live. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you about these live events? YouTube is giving preference to these things. They have been for a long time, and I can't see why they wouldn't give it more preference going forward. They must. And the reason for that, if you think about it carefully, is that, let's see if we can position this camera again. How good is that? The reason for that is because, the longer you can keep people on your channel and on YouTube, the more money YouTube can make, the more advertising they can sell. So that's, I think, part of the reason why live events also is such a cool thing. All right, let's see what other questions we have here. I think we'll take a couple more and then we might call it a day. Okay. So Anya is saying, hey, I think I should be working. Just checking in. So Anya Kiken, she's of course the content manager for Vivo. She's just checking in. Hi Anya, great to have you here. Everybody say hi to Anya. Anya is been very busy lately creating the course, the brand new course for our Vivo business that's taking you through the ABC of video advertising. And we had the first modules this last week. So far, people are loving it. It's only open to our members, the Vivo. So if you do want to check it out or be part of that course and also part of the Facebook group, you can join Vivo already now. We do have a free trial there that you can check out. It doesn't give you access to the course though, not at the moment anyway. We might change that in the future. But if you want access to that course that Anya is creating right now, go to vrole.com and you should be able to join. Let me see if I can type a link in here. www.vrole.com. I wonder if it'll allow me to have a link in there. So yeah, it allows me to have a link. All right, cool. Also say hi to Anya. Maybe join her channel if you want to, her YouTube channel. I'm not sure if you got any content on there, but say hi to her. Rooney is saying everybody will have their own TV show. This is the future. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, think about it, Rooney and everyone else. You could set up your own live broadcasting studio, like I have at my home office, and it's incredible. It's incredible. I can stream live to everyone in the world, and as far as I can tell, there's no limit to how many people can join in. You can have your own broadcast TV station from your own office. It is from your own phone. It is just incredible. Okay, let's see. Okay, we've got another one from Gord Isman saying, what about reliability in comparison to something like Hangouts? Yeah, okay, so that's the thing, Gord. It's from my understanding is that there's two different teams in YouTube. Or it's a YouTube team which runs YouTube live events, and Google runs the Google Hangouts events. And so they're different teams within the Google organization. So they're almost, I think they're separate. The Google Live events, the Hangouts, the Google Hangouts Live on Air, whatever they're called, they seem to be more designed for the mainstream, and they have been designed more for the mainstream. Kind of similar to Blab, I guess, really easy to set up, but you're really limited in terms of your options, and it's kind of clunky to share your screen, and you can only have one camera coming in, as far as I know. With YouTube Live events, as long as you have really good internet and you've got the right setup, I've had zero problems with reliability. It is incredible. And what you can do with YouTube Live events is have a much more professional experience for your viewers. You can bring in Skype callers. I can't do it with this app at the moment, but with my desktop setup, I can bring in Skype callers, split the screen so that the Skype caller is on one side and my face is on the other. I share my screen. I can have multiple camera shoots. There's all sorts of things you can do with the professional setup. So, and it's very reliable. The main thing is just your internet and making sure you've got a good processor on your computer. When it comes to these apps, very important, if you're doing a live event with an app on your phone or an iPad, just make sure it's on airplane mode and that you turn on your Wi-Fi, right? So that you don't get calls coming in, because that could interrupt it, which is really annoying. But certainly so far, it's been pretty good. Damien is asking, hello Anya, don't let the boss catch you on here. Thanks, Damien. Anya is having a good laugh. Julie, hi Julie Lewin, I haven't talked to you for ages. How you doing? Julie's saying, hey Gideon, I heard you talking to one of the other people. Is it possible to have a live YouTube event and keep it private for a paid membership Q&A? Absolutely. Julie, what I normally do with those is that I run them as an unlisted event. So only people with the link can actually see it. So the reason I run it as unlisted as opposed to private is that it still allows you to embed that video on your one of your own pages, say inside your membership area that's password protected. Run your live event from there, and only your members can see that. And then also you can embed that video inside your membership area, just like a normal YouTube video. If you make it private, then only people on your YouTube channel that you've given access to can watch it. So make it unlisted, don't make it public. If you make it public, then everybody on YouTube can see it and everybody that visits your channel. So unlisted is the way to go if you want to have it as private content inside or password protected content inside your members area. Very easy to do. And for the commenting function, I use a company called Chatroll. I'll type it in the comments area here, chatroll.com. And they do a fantastic job at doing the comments. So I just have the comments very similar to this live event, but on just through Chatroll. So the video streams to YouTube on my membership page. It's just a video that's embedded on my membership page, and on the right hand side I have the comments through Chatroll. And maybe I can have more training on that if that's of interest to you. All right, Gord Esmond is saying, I missed your explanation of the tech you ate using. Did you say Wirecast? Or you are using, not ate. Did you use Wirecast? What is that and a specialized app? So the app that I'm using right now for this live stream is called Wirecast Go. There's two Wirecast apps at the moment. One is Wirecast Go and the other one is Wirecast, I can't remember the other one, but there's two apps. Get the Wirecast Go one because that's the one that allows you to stream from your phone. The other one, the other app, the other Wirecast app, which I can't remember the name now, that talks to your desktop Wirecast software, which is like the desktop version, the professional version is like $600, so in Australian dollars. So much more expensive, much more intense setup, but you can get a much more professional thing going with multi-camera shoots and this sort of thing. And yeah, if you guys are interested in the more professional kind of setup, let me know because I can create some training on that as well. Anya is saying, no comment on my own channel yet, no content on her own channel yet. So Anya, why not? Anya's been too busy creating content for V-Roll. So good on you, Anya. I'm proud of you. Julie is saying, great, thanks. All right, Julie's saying, perfect. I wondered if that's how you did this. Thanks so much, Gideon. You've just helped me solve my question. Great. So Wirecast Go. So let me type it in the comments here as well. WIRECAST space Go. Wirecast Go. So check it out on your iPhone, on the App Store. You'll get it. It works on the iPad as well. All right. So guys, thanks so much. Looks like that's the end of the questions there, and we've been at it for 47 minutes as well. Thanks so much once again for watching. Thanks if you've shared this. Please give us a thumbs up if you like the sort of thing that I'm doing here. I'm going to do a lot more of these. I'm going to see if I can do this once a day, perhaps, unplanned, and just have a bit of fun. One of the key things that I said to myself for this year is that I just want to have a lot more fun this year. Last year was a tough year for me, a very successful year, but tough. And this year, I want to see if I can do a few more things that really gives me fulfillment and joy and excitement, and doing these live events on my YouTube channel is one of those things. So you can expect to see a lot more of this coming up in the future. All right, so thanks everybody, and everybody's saying thanks in the comments here. Great, thanks Anya, thanks Julie, thanks Jeff, thanks Jim, thanks Richard. Julie saying, love it, Gideon, you have inspired me to set up and do these too. Thanks Rooney, and thanks Jeff. Permanent subscriber Aaron says, Jeff, well, that's great stuff, Jeff. I mean, this is only the beginning. This is only the tip of the iceberg. I want to make this a lot more fancy and well, maybe not more fancy, but I want to give you guys a lot more value going forward for the coming year. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on my next live call. Bye-bye.